Welcome to the Roman Polcha Show today. I am so happy to have you here on a Sunday afternoon in Pennsylvania. And today is a fun video because I have been doing a lot of more, serious content lately, especially post-election. But today, we're going to be doing a more lighthearted video, still political, but more lighthearted. And that is my book review of Justice is Coming, How Progressives Are Going to Take Over the Country and America is Going to Love It. I'm just going to quickly show you the book here. Hopefully you can see that and put it down. I'm just going to go over a few other important things with you that I have written down here before I do my full book review and overview, and then I'll kind of just get into that. So some of the things that I wanted to say to you guys today that I thought were important are we have reached 10 hours of view time on the channel. So thank you for supporting the Roman Polcha Show. With that, we are up to 12.4 hours of viewing time. We have 16 subscribers. I'm setting a goal right now. Let's get that to 100 subscribers. That would be awesome. And we are also at 198 views. I'm sure this video puts us over 200. Let's get that up to 1,000 total views on the channel. That's the goal. We're setting goals here. I would like to tell you guys and keep you updated on how I'm trying to make a difference. I reached out to a local representative today, our Pennsylvania representative, and I am trying to maybe get in contact with him to ask him questions about what it is. It won't be on the channel, but just asking him questions about government and his job so I can kind of get more of a gauge for what a career in the future might look like for me in that. So I wanted to let you know that I am working towards trying to make a difference there. Also, my poll for what book I'm going to read next, go check that out. As I just said, I just finished this book, so I'll probably be starting my next book tonight. So go check out that poll, put a comment, do whatever you want to do, because it's not going to be up very much longer. I will have selected my book very, very shortly. So if you have a say, if you want to have a say, you're going to have to go do that now. The other two things I wanted to say, I said this in the video yesterday as well. Go check out the Wolf Pack and sign. I would encourage you to sign the petition for the 28th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which would take out private funding in political campaigns. So you, the people, would fund, not big money donors and corporations. That Wolf Pack was actually started by Cenk, the author of the book I'm reviewing today. Also, the Brian Tyler Cohen petition. Go check that out as well on his channel. He put it up a couple days ago. I don't know if it is still up, but if it is, I would highly encourage you to go check that out. I signed both of these petitions. This petition is trying to get Joe Biden to put some sort of climate legislation through before the incoming Trump presidency, where we know that all climate regulation is pretty much out of the conversation. So with that being said, those are kind of just the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And now let's get into the meat and potatoes of why I am here, and that is to review Justice is Coming, How Progressives Are Going to Take Over the Country, and America is Going to Love It. So let's start off with kind of Cenk's writing style. He's the author of the book. He makes you want to read continually. He puts his personality, if you've ever watched TYT, his personality is in the pages. It's a lot of really his opinions on these different subject matters, but you really feel his personality whenever he's writing, and I did really enjoy that. And the quality of the content was amazing. I learned a lot from reading this, which I feel like this is the type of book you read if you want to be informed. He's going to inform you on a lot of things you probably didn't know about before, so I would highly, highly encourage you, if you want to learn about progressivism and the state of the corruption of the media and of the corporate donor class in American politics, then this is a book that you might want to check out. His personality comes through. He's very energetic, and you can tell that he puts his heart into this book. He really does care and is doing everything he can to keep the movement going forward, which is what I'm trying to do here as well. Little by little, every little bit makes a difference, and that is the main point of my channel, is making a difference little by little at a time. And Cenk, you can clearly tell, is doing his best to do that as well. So now what I want to do is I want to get into the 7 chapters. There's 7 chapters. There's sub-chapters within them that are smaller because these chapters are pretty large. The book itself was around, it was less than 300 pages, and these chapters are more sections with sub-chapters within them, are a little bit longer. I'm just going to summarize each one for you, so that way you get an understanding of what happens, and then I'm going to kind of give you a rating of the book and tell you why I think it would be a good read for you. So the first chapter is America is Progressive, and it kind of breaks down the myth that America is a center-right country, which is something that the media has been telling you for forever, that America's center-right. And you might say off the top of your head, well, America's not progressive. Look, they just elected Donald Trump. But it's about, in this chapter, it kind of breaks down the myth by not who people elect, but by what Americans actually support compared to what the politicians spew out as their policies. So, for instance, there's a lot of statistics in this section kind of saying, well, Americans across the board overwhelmingly support Medicare for all. Americans across the board overwhelmingly support the legalization of marijuana. Americans across the board are more pro-choice than pro-life. So these kind of things are outlined as proof that America actually supports a lot more progressive policies than the politicians in either party give out. And the reason for that is because of who funds their campaigns. And that is kind of a brief overview of what that section is about. The second section is, what is a progressive? And he kind of tries to explain, break down the myths again of what a progressive is, because there's a lot of myths in the mainstream media that about progressives that are negative, that they're just your everyday green-haired college kid, and that's not true. And in that chapter, he really gets down to what is a progressive and the movement of progressivism and the movement away from corporatism within the Democratic establishment. So very good there as well. The third section was titled Why Republicans Suck. And now he talks about both the voters and the politicians in this section. And I can say confidently that he outlines factual information but goes about it in a more aggressive way. And it's interesting, and I don't condone, I just want to say on this channel, I don't condone the use of the word suck whenever it comes to talking about the other political party or those that disagree with me on issues. And Cenk is a lot more, I would say, aggressive in his way of trying to get information across. He means in this section to not demean. He's just very aggressive in his passion, and he uses more divisive language, I would say, than what I would use, if that makes sense. But he does specifically outline a lot about the politicians, which I 100% agree with as well. So while I disagree with the literal title of the section, there's a lot of factual information about what Republicans have voted for, both as constituents and as a political party within Washington and your states, that shows that they don't actually support the policies that all Americans, including Republican constituents, would like to see done, and really outlining the corruption within that specific party. So the fifth title or section is titled The Matrix. And within The Matrix, he really dives into corporate media and how they've manipulated people's thoughts over the course of the last how many ever years. And this was fascinating. He was breaking down how much censorship there is within corporate media, how they perpetrate ideas that are not actually supported, how they talk about people in a certain way, in a way that promotes or demotes them just based on a political ideology or stance. And it's really all about corporatism. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I took away from this book as a whole, is it's mostly about corporatism. People are bought and paid for, and these corporations can't be trusted, and these corporations want you to vote a certain way, want you to feel a certain way on specific issues, and it's all in the name of keeping the status quo the same so that they can keep on making money and that you don't get much social upward mobility in class. So that is kind of what this section was about, but this section primarily focused specifically on the corruption within corporate media within the Matrix. Here Comes the Revolution. Here Comes the Revolution was the sixth section, and it was about how the progressive movement is progressing and how we're headed towards gaining justice. And I thought this was an amazing section. I loved this section. He really outlined how the younger people are actually extremely progressive and how they're supporting more progressive policies than any other generation before. And the movement away from the viewing of corporate media, which was by older generations, and as progressives, as people are younger, they're more progressive, and the different media that they're consuming is affecting the reasoning for that, which is a lot about what Here Comes the Revolution was about. And the seventh section, what happens when progressives win, it was very short at the end, and it's just about the direction that we're headed and how we're going to win, because it's justice, and it's justice economically for everyone. That was kind of just the direction that the future that we're headed in. So now I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts on the book and my rating. I thought that the overall message that I took away was corporatism and how our politics are shaped by the wealthy, and how our government is bought and paid for by corporations, and how that changed over time. He really outlines how in the past we were truly a progressive nation in the time of FDR and kind of the time after that for a while. And then we transitioned into, through Supreme Court rulings and cultural movement within our politics, that now allows for billions of dollars to be funneled into specific campaigns. In this book, he outlines both the corruption in the Democratic and Republican Party, and how they receive money from people that you would not even believe the amount, and they can the campaign finance laws need reformed, and the corruption needs to end. And the corruption is within the media, it's within the establishment, and it's within the politicians that are currently sitting in Washington. So that was kind of the basic gist of everything. It was all about corruption and what we need to do to fix that corruption, which is why the Wolfpack petition that I told you to go sign, the Wolfpack was started by Cenk Uygur, and it's for and the petition is for a 28th Amendment to end private funding of campaigns. And it fits right in, because you can truly see he does care about a lot of these policies, and social policies and culture war policies, maybe not quite as much. And I feel like the message I got was that he wants to reform the system. He wants to come through and he wants to get rid of money in politics. And that was the biggest lesson that I learned from this book. My rating, I would give it at least a 9.5 out of 10. At least. It was an amazing book. I enjoyed every second of it. I wanted to keep reading it throughout. I learned a lot. I gained a lot of knowledge, and I definitely also gained a lot of perspective on things that I didn't understand before, specifically about money and politics and its negative impact on the constituents and the people. So I would definitely encourage you to go check that out. Let me pick it up one more time. Justice is Coming. How Progressives Are Going to Take Over the Country and America is Going to Love It by Cenk Uygur. I would highly encourage you guys to go check that out. Check out those petitions I told you about as well. I will continue to try to bring you guys content and keep you updated on the news whenever I can. I'm very busy with school and with sports, but I will continue to do my job and to bring you information and to encourage you guys to be active as citizens in this time, even after the election. And I'm going to continue to work hard to improve in that as well. So thank you. Great book. Go check that out. Go check out the other petitions as well. God bless, and have an amazing rest of your Sunday.